Can you go and move your motor? Any takers? Shall we name and shame the bad parkers? No? Okay. Well, they will get towed if you don't go and move them. So let's chop on that. So now we're going to shift focus. We're going to go and explore how the boundaries are starting to blur between travel and non-travel brands. And we will welcome another incredible team of voices to the stage. It's actually her birthday. So first of all, we're going to introduce Kate Harden-England, editor of Travolution, the birthday girl, onto stage. Happy birthday!
Thank you, band. Thank you all. Thank you, Kate, for welcoming me to stage. I'm also Kate. We've had 2 sessions already, and they have been jam-packed. So I am so excited for the rest of the day. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today on my birthday. It's my 3rd CONX. CONX has 5, and I've been here for 3 of them. But this time, 2 years ago, was actually my first day in the job at Travolution. I mean, what a way to start. I kick-started my tenure as editor of the brand, meeting you lovely folks at this very event 2 years ago. So it's an absolute pleasure to be back, but this time on stage with the likes of Kate and Walter and my fantastic 2 panelists. So we have a real powerhouse panel for you. So it's my absolute honor to welcome to the stage Emilie Dumont, CEO of Digitrips, and Ada Chu, who's the Director of International Affairs at Fliggy. All right, sorry, we just had a mic session, so we're good to go. Thank you very much, ladies, for being here. We've got an all-female panel, which is very exciting. You are in for a treat. Look, there wouldn't be a need for a panel on this if it wasn't already happening. So let's contextualize it for everyone here in the audience. What's really going on? What's the kind of thing that's happening in the market that's leading brands that are not travel, authentic brands, to sort of rethink their strategy and wanting them to break into our sector. Ada, I'll look at you first.
Thank you, Kate. So happy birthday again. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. So maybe just a quick, introduction. Let me help you to remember the name of our platform, because I have so often this question, Ada, how do you call the name? It's Fliggy? It's Fliggy. In fact, Fliggy means flying piggy. Flying piggy in Chinese, feizhu. So your question will be, why a pig? So very easy, because in Chinese culture, the pig is the luckiest animal on earth. For example, the dog you must watch after the house. The rooster you need to wake up very early in the morning, but the pig has nothing to do. So we take a little piggy, we give him wings for him to travel around the world. So now I'm sure you got it, and you won't forget about the name. And in order to help you to understand our business, let me also locate Fliggy inside the Alibaba Group ecosystem, because all this ecosystem is very important for you to understand our business. So Alibaba Group, as you know, is a multi-industry group based in China. We have e-commerce business like Alibaba.com, the B2B platform. We have Tmall, the B2C platform. We have also Taobao, the C2C platform, very famous for shopping, but also for all the live streaming with KOL, key opinion leaders, and also influencers. We have a payment solution. We have Ant Financial, which is part of our Alibaba ecosystem with Alipay. We have the infrastructure with the clouding, and we have Cainiao Logistic for all the parcel delivery. And we have also other activities like AMAP, which is the Google Maps here. We have Youku, the entertainment part, which is YouTube. And we have Fresh Hippo for supermarket and food delivery. So I'll stop here because it's too long, but it's just to give you an overview of all the activity of a group. And this ecosystem is helping us, to be unique in our market, and I think in the world, because we are unique in the world.
So what's the significance of the hippo for the supermarket delivery?
So each business unit, have a mascot.
Okay.
And the Jack's vision is to have Alibaba Zoo. So that's why we have a pig and Fresh Hippo. You're very cute, a blue hippo, please. And we have Timol, the black cat, for Timol. So there's a lot of a culture gap, of course, because for us, a black cat is, bad luck, but for Chinese people, it's very chic. Same for the pig, So in some cultures, not, very politic, but in Chinese people, culture is very wealthy and very happy, animal. So, yes.
Okay, so you're saying that, the current market is seeing that we're experiencing a full ecosystem.
Exactly.
And that's exactly why we're all kind of seeing this movement and those brands come into it.
In fact, the ecosystem is helping us, to build business because we know our consumer. Fliggy is a 360 degrees travel platform for Chinese consumer, only for Chinese consumer. So we partner with hotels, with airplane companies, but also with TAA, tour activities agencies. We work also with POIs, with Wi-Fi services, with transfer, really everything that you need when a Chinese tourist travel inside China or outside China. So talking about travel, to come back to your question, because the travel, when you're at the end, at the segment that you receive your client and you make them live, having feelings, good emotions, that will impact the consumer engagement, the client engagement, and it will also strengthen, the brand loyalty. So these two keys are very important, and we are lucky, to receive our clients. And this is also what the No Travel brand is looking at, with a rebound of outbound tourism since, a little bit more than 1 year with Chinese after COVID. We see also a growth of space for new opportunities. For example, Fliggy, we work with cities and regions tourism bureau. For example, last year for Paris Olympic Games 2024, we partnered with Paris Visit, region, Paris Visit Paris region. But we work also with national tourism bureau like Japan, Turkey, Maldives, because we co-create together the new experience, new lifestyle, new envy, and we are trying to create new influence also. We work with POIs. As I said, in March, we signed a strategic partnership with Château de Versailles to make new way to visit the museum. We work also with city malls. City malls, is a place for shopping usually, but some city malls have restaurants, have hotels, have bar or hairdresser or spa, and city mall can become a destination of lifestyle. And everything's about the experience and lifestyle. And we work with them also to create this dot-to-dot connecting lifestyle. Of course, we work with, cosmetic brands also, because some cosmetic brands, they're very famous, but they have flagship store, for example, in London. and they want to drive what we call O2O, online to offline. So they want, once again, the final consumer to go to their flagship store to understand their history, their mission, and for what? For better user engagement and a brand loyalty. Again, yes. So we are co-creating the new demand. This what I just explained. But from previous panel, we talk about new technology, you know, artificial intelligence. Let me talk about also augmented reality and live streaming. All these tools are very important for the future. In Fliggy, in Alibaba Group, in Fliggy, we created for Zhejiang region a special app inside Fliggy with AI for your daily use. If you want to go shopping, if you want to go to restaurant, or you want to have activities, we have a program working together with the region of Zhejiang to make it happen as an app. So we are shifting from product-focused platform into the creation of lifestyle ecosystem.
So just quickly coming back to you, Emilie, I think because that's my next question to you, Ada, actually, to look at the Alibaba Group widely. But you know, what are you thinking you're seeing for the kind of market constraints as to why we're seeing this emerge now?
Well, I'm not sure we can say that all those brands are rethinking their strategy. I think they're just turning to travel to answer all the brands have the same questions, which are, how do I leverage my customer base? How do I increase my retention? And how do I gain market share? And they turn to travel because travel answers those questions. Ada said a lot about why Alibaba turned to travel with Fliggy. She talked about something which is very true, which is travel is one of the maybe the most demanded lifestyle product from the consumer. And so it's driving good vibes, good experience. So if you're providing and offering travel products, you're offering a nice product to your customer base. So you're creating attachment, you're creating good vibes with your own brand. So this is one of the reasons why, which is key. The second reason why, I think, is also because travel is a strong opportunity for all those brands to build a different shopping experience and to build a different loyalty experience. Travel is something, it's a low frequency and high basket value product, which means that you don't buy very often, but when you buy, you may spend a lot of money. And that makes it a good product for brands to broaden their loyalty or membership programs so they can drive customer from being resilient and very frequent customer and clients on day-to-day thing, or in buying your washing machine or your grocery on Saturday morning, and getting rewards and membership things to offer a nice holiday and to spend that on a nice lifestyle, good product that you're just creating pleasure. So the capacity of those brands to expand the loyalty beyond the travel and to create membership and broaden loyalty or global experience, also create a good retention and opportunity for non-travel brands into developing travel. And the third one, which Ada also outlined very quickly, I would say is emerging and will probably all the more emerge with AI, is everything that we can do with data that we know about the client. We talk a lot about in the industry about travel personalization and how are we going to use AI to personalize travel. The thing is that travel brands just know what people do with their travel spendings. Non-travel brands have a lot more data, and so tomorrow they might be able to provide to create much more personalized experience into the travel shopping for their customer base than a travel brand is doing. So I think that there are objective reasons why non-travel brands are turning to travel as an answer to the strategic question that all of us ask, which are how do I grow my business and how do I keep my clients in a profitable way?
I love that. So it's mutually beneficial, actually, because, I mean, last month I went to the HBX Market Hub in Europe, and we've got Javier joining us on stage later today, but I had a private chat with him and Carlos Munoz, the Chief Commercial Officer for HBX Group, and we spoke about exactly this. You know, I asked whether it's an opportunity, and for Carlos it completely is. He agrees, you know, it's very much about rewarding those loyal customers. Brands are looking to do that, non-travel brands, and they're doing that because they found that their customers are not wanting the coffees anymore. They are wanting travel, and they are wanting experiences, and they're going to be looking to us to be able to provide that for them. So would you say that there is, you know, enough space for all of us to be able to operate in our sector?
Well, I think that despite, and even if there is a very fierce competition and a lot of players already in the industry, I work in other industry, and the chance that we have here that we need to be conscious is that we're on a business that has been growing. It's a market which is growing over decades, and which is still planned to be growing in the coming years. So we're very lucky because the cake is growing. Okay, that would be my first point. Then there is a very fierce competition, and there are a lot of players and a lot of intermediaries, which make the business might be at some point very difficult. But I totally agree with what you've just said. The thing is that non-travel brands entering into travel, at first, they absolutely need a partner and a B2B partner, because what is specific about selling travel is that it's not easy. You cannot tomorrow morning decide that you're going to sell travel. You need tech, we talked a lot about that. But you also need contracting, because you also need to provide very specific product or experiences to your clients. Otherwise, you're just selling everything, what everybody's selling. You need to know about regulation, you need to know about fulfillment, you need to know about servicing, and you need to create quality. And the least thing you want to do is to destroy your brand image by providing bad quality to your client, to your travel clients. So it's very difficult, and it requires a lot of competencies and a lot of things to distribute travel when you're a non-travel brand and you want to enter into travel. Reality is that almost everybody can make a white label, okay? Yep. It's very easy. You just forward your client to a white label booking or something like that. But what we are talking here is how those brands want to keep their customer, how they want to leverage their customer base. That means that they want to sell travel to their customer base, and they want to become a travel brand while being a non-travel brand. Because Fliggy today is a travel brand. All the super apps are in Asia are developing a lot. Chase is now a $11 billion business. Chase Travel, it's an $11 billion business. So those businesses, they're entering into travel. They're looking at that. They cannot do it by themselves. Probably the big ones at some point, they will have their own sourcing, their own loyalty technology, their own maybe some part of the technology, but they will still rely on the B2B travel ecosystem that we are, because it's a difficult business to sell travel and to do it properly and to provide specific experiences to your client. And if you don't provide specific experiences, if you don't provide fintech services that makes your product different, you're just a travel reseller in the red ocean of travel reseller. So you need to provide a different experience to your client. And for that, those people, they need all of us. We need to be creative, and we need to bring solution to those non-travel brands who want to enter into travel on how are we helping them, how are we powering them to make travel while growing our own business.
I mean, yeah, let's be real here. If I am forwarded a link and it's just a white label product and it's going to cost me exactly the same as if I go to Expedia or the likes, you know, I'm not going to feel valued, I'm not going to feel seen, I'm not going to feel understood, or like the offering that I've received is personalized. So that is your fast track to not having your customer base looked after and feeling loyal. So we'll look at Fliggy as an example. I mean, Alibaba is obviously very well known for the e-commerce brands. Like, how did that foray into Fliggy and its brands kind of come about?
Yes. In fact, Alibaba Group, all our ecosystem is built around the needs of a market. So when we create Alibaba.com, it was for B2B. Okay. Then we create Taobao for the C2C. Then we saw brands coming on Taobao to sell as a professional. Then we create Tmall for the B2C. So everything comes because there's demand and offer on the market. And before becoming Fliggy, we were Alitrip. And before Alitrip, we were Taobao Trip. So like you guess, the name came from Taobao. Why? Because we started to see travel product on Taobao platform, and we see consumer buying this travel product. So you can't sell a shirt on the same way that you're selling a trip to Mallorca or to Madrid or to London. So that's why we take over all this product and we built all new environment for travel industry. And so everything is about bringing values to our merchants, so our partners, and to our final consumers. And Fliggy is a tool, in fact. So we are, as I explained, our OTP, online travel platform. We are not an agency. And we are a tool to connect global, international supplier to a wide, mobile, native audience, Chinese audience. And why? Because we are here to give new experiences, to make them discover new lifestyles. So again, we are adapting, our business, everything about our consumer needs, evolution of the lifestyle of a consumer. And as I explained a little bit earlier, through the payment, Alipay, from the shopping, from Youku, we have influence possibilities. We have data also. We have data inside. We know what's their preference. So when they book a trip to a plane to Paris, we know exactly that they may need visa, they may need hotels, they may need things to do. And we work also with all this experience, like not only going there for having hotels and flight, but what are you doing there except all the visits that you're doing, but restaurants? Are you going to do a wine tasting, a cheese tasting? This kind of things is part also of a travel, not only daily life. So Fliggy, again, we are a solution. We are here to bring, new innovative idea for our consumer.
I see. Essentially, you're perfect for this panel because you're adaptive, reactive, and you learned ahead of the curve, really, because now we're seeing these brands enter now. But Alibaba Group, realized this way back to build that lifestyle ecosystem to fully supply everything that the consumer would go on to need. Emilie, what kind of brands are we seeing enter the market now?
They're the one that everybody knows, mainly the banks. We talk a lot. We talk a lot about Chase Travel. We know Capital One. We know CD. We're working for 2 bank networks in France, which most of you guys don't know, so I won't even say their name because as many French things.
No, please inform us.
CIC and Boursorama.
Okay, brilliant.
But it's like always the French thing. Only French people know about them. The thing is,
some French in the room.
Yeah, many of them. So we have the banks, and the Chase case is very interesting because they're publishing information on it, and that's one of the brands who is publishing on what they're doing. We have the other kind of brand, which are, let's say, the retailer, the more broad retailer. Everybody knows about the Walmart store in the US. We're working for Carrefour in France, providing them travel digital solutions. And we are working for, since 2019 now, from a digital native retail platform in France called Cdiscount, which is the second e-merchant to Amazon in France. And I would say that what makes we have a lot of different other type of smaller merchants client, non-travel brand client. I would say that what makes the difference between the one who put a toe and the one who are putting a feet or the two arms into the travel business is how much they really want to integrate that travel product and provide a full experience to their customer base. If I may share the example of the story and the case that we've done with Cdiscount over the past years, they launched travel in 2018 with us. The thing that we did is that at that time it was innovative, it's no longer, but at that time we provided their client base, because their client base is very price sensitive. So we provided them with a payment solution to have a buy now, pay later solution for travel, which at that time was pretty new. Yeah. We grew on those fintech services, let's say fintech or payment or services or ancillary, call them how you want. But the thing is that people are looking for their population and many people are looking at solution to pay and to get flexibility over the travel. So after the buy now pay later, we introduced the flex options, making any travel flexible with no reason, with a great sense of timing as it was in 2019. We released also a month ago a new product called Freeze, which allows the client to freeze the price of a flight ticket up to 10 days before departure and starting at maybe 1 year before traveling date. And this kind of offering that kind of services drives conversion. Today, more than 50% of clients on Cdiscount are using buy now pay later solutions. Yeah. There is a 15% attachment rate on the Flex product, and despite being launched a month ago, the Freeze product is already making 10% of the business. So providing such services to the client base, bringing something different, and we need each of us to think about, okay, what kind of different services can I bring to those brands to help them convert travel selling to their clients. And the second thing that they did very well and that we did together is that we fully integrated the UX and the shopping experience, even if we're doing it, into their UX. And the client is not lost. We are not creating a mess. The client always feels he remains into the Cdiscount. He's not somewhere else. And he's still able to use his loyalty and reward program when he buys travel from us, and we serve him as being Cdiscount even if we're not. Yeah. And reality that today, depending on the campaigns and on the products, rewards from their membership program represents between 5 and 25% of booking on their platform. So travel at Cdiscount has been profitable since they launched that business line. It's now the 4th business line they have. And that works compared to other non-brand travel that we're operating because of those two key success factors. And I think that the next one coming will be how do we cross-use data of the client to push personalized experience. This is probably the next step that we need to go in the coming years.
Okay, so brilliant. I love that your work is actually making this a realization for a lot of brands, enabling them to do this work. But I think you've kind of really alluded to it already in your answer, to be honest. What do brands need to do in order to stay alive in this new landscape that we're seeing? And you've kind of rightly said distinguishing themselves and really looking at what they're offering.
You mean what we need to do to stay alive? Or
yes,
what
travel brands.
Yeah, the travel brands. Well, first of all, let's be reasonable. Those brands are taking part of the market, but even if we look at, and some of them, non-travel brands might become travel brands in 5, 10, 15, or 20 years from now, nobody knows. But if we look at what has happened over the past 5 years, deleting the COVID, the biggest player known today in that area is Chase Travel. There's a third consumer leisure brand in the US, in North America, making $11 billion. That's still less than 10% that what Expedia and Booking are doing, so keep reasonable. There is going to be some evolution. Those non-travel brands are going to leverage their customer base. They're going to take some market share for sure. Most of them, maybe all of them, absolutely will need us to do that. And so the big thing about that is that there is business that can be done with those brands, providing them solutions, and with no marketing cost. We need to work on tech, we need to work on differentiating experiences, services, and how we help them use their data, because we know a lot about selling travel. So we have a lot of competencies that those brands might need if they want to properly leverage the client base, and that's clearly what we need to do. And we have, I mean, nobody's better at a better place than the players of the travel industry to do so.
And let's hear from yourself, Ada.
Yeah, for the traditional pro travel brands, I think they need really to deep dive in their core strengths. You know, that means the industry expertise, the relationship that they are having with their supplier, but the operation expertise too, because you can't, you know, welcome final client in a place if you don't have this expertise. So we need more innovation also, but this innovation can be brought by the no travel brand too. You know, creative way, new way to engage a customer, you know, new experiences, creative experiences. So we can think about more collaborations, you know, cross-industry collaborations. We must be open to all kinds of collaborations. And I would also advise that we need to adapt to new technology, like live streaming. Sometimes a live streaming is very important, you know, because it's a new way to discover for the user, I mean, to discover the new destination, how they will plan and how they will leave the place. So technology, their expertise, collaboration. So I would say that no travel brand brings scale. Platforms bring reach, and traditional travel brands bring authenticity and expertise.
Brilliant. And just quickly, because we are running out of time, but what are the kind of challenges to coming into this space for those non-travel brands?
I think maybe Ada has a more experience because I'm not in the non-travel brand shoes, but I think that from what we see from people trying to go there is one of the challenge is how do I keep my customer base and how do I really leverage my customer base, providing my customer, my travel experience and my travel service to my client and creating affinity and loyalty and building on that rather than sending my clients to somebody that will then be the owner of my own customer base. So I think that is one of the big challenges that those brands are facing today, because as I said earlier, and I'm sure we are all convinced of that, it's difficult to sell travel, so it's very difficult to start by yourself. And the second one is really how do I broaden the loyalty experience? How do I integrate as a brand travel into my loyalty program? Because I'm having a credit card program, or I'm having a hypermarket or retail or large retail business where people are frequently spending money on non-loving or non-nice product, and how do I broaden their loyalty experience to have them able to spend all that reward and loyalty points, and so increase the frequency, and maybe they come back to me more often on non-travel products because they know they will be able to use their reward and the loyalty points or whatever on something that they love and something they want, maybe upgrading to a nicer holiday or going a second time, a third time, fourth time in holiday, I don't know. So I think the key is really this integration into membership and loyalty is really key for the non-travel brands to leverage what makes them different from a traditional travel brand.
Okay, thank you. One-word answers really quickly, just to round off the session quite nicely. What brand would you maybe like to see that's a non-travel brand enter the market to really add value to our customers? Let's come to you, Ada, first.
No-travel brand. We are already working with so much no-travel brand, but I think one of the key is really the history, the authenticity of every brand. So if you are a brand and you want to have a new way, an innovative way to reach Chinese travelers, to make them discover your brand from one way to another, is to have, a display on the correct partners. So I will say, if you come to Fliggy, you will have the best way to get all the Chinese travelers, and we are working almost with a lot of people, everyone. Yeah, we're connected already.
Thank you, Ada. And finally, one word from you, Emilie.
I would say, you mean, what would be my advice, right? Wait, what your question, sorry.
What do you think would add the most value as a brand entering? So which one?
Which brand?
Which one would add the most value? That's a very tough question. I'm really wondering why Amazon is not going.
Oh.
Lots of brands already liken themselves to Amazon in many ways, so I don't know if they would want Amazon to enter. All right, brilliant. Well, thank you so much to my panelists. Thank you to Darina Holidays for making this panel possible. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
Okay, one more, then we will